Howdy, folks. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And let me tell you, if there's a will, there's a way. And there's a will here. So we made it happen. And thank you so much for Trina for stepping up and filling in. I'm not really sure what happened with David. It's not like him. So I hope everything's all right down that way. So
Give
him some love. Hopefully everything's okay. I tried to call him a few times, left a message. And like I said, that's not like him. So
no,
send some
no.
love.
So with 6 minutes to spare, here I am.
Yeah, literally, I called Trina at 9:54 Eastern Standard Time 6 minutes ago.
Yep.
Yes, folks.
Yep.
So, hey, I can't ever say I ain't got no friends. I'll tell you that.
You got friends. Yes. Yep. Yes. Thank God.
Nothing but love here. So anyway, thank you for stepping up. How's your day been?
It's good. Really good. I planted more potatoes today.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
You know, I was actually I went up today and did some shopping and things, and I was, I've heard of food, the food shortages and all that going on. And by the way, today, folks, the UN come out and said that now that we're going to have a food shortage pandemic, they're calling the food shortage a pandemic now. So,
oh my God,
been telling you folks, this food shortage is going to come out, and now the UN's saying it. So they're the top brass is trying to tell you that. Look out, prepare, please.
Yeah.
Start growing some gardens.
Ready.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, Victory Gardens. Called them that for a reason, huh?
Yeah. Food shortage pandemic.
That's not a good thing.
To me, that's just one of those catchwords.
Yeah.
That's what they're using it for.
To me, it just reminds me of Hunger Games. I'm like, uh-oh.
You know, I know this is crazy. I've never watched that movie entirely all the way through. Or the second one.
I haven't either.
Maybe I need to do that because I mean, from what I gather from what I've been told from it, distinct possibility. I mean, it's almost like that now.
It seems like it's the beginning steps of it.
Well, and this is not just rumor. There literally is somewhere in this world where these rich elite go and hunt humans.
Yeah.
Part of the slave trade. That's fact.
Yeah.
So what a world we live in. Like I said, I think this world needs to be cleansed. And it is. We're cleansing.
There's a lot of bad stuff going on. A lot of bad stuff going on. And it's like it's a battle for our mind, because I think that's how they get a hold of the soul.
Yeah, you always heard this soul harvesting and us feeding, they need us for our energy. And you hear about these big football stadiums, like I told you about the University of Tennessee. There was always that rumor that they did these big ceremony rituals underneath, and
yeah,
gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I know, and I think it's true. I think there's a lot of foundation for it.
The crazier it sounds now, from what I've from my studies, the crazier it sounds, the truer it is.
It seems to be, right?
Yeah.
It really does seem to be. It's like the more far out it is, the more, the more it might actually be true. Yeah. It's just interesting how this whole thing that's been going around, and there's a connection to bats, and that's a pretty interesting thing. It's like the blood thing. I keep seeing all these weird correlations with blood.
There was something that popped up on my Facebook feed today, and I quickly deleted it because I didn't want people to think that I was into this thing, but it's something that I want to watch. And it was I guess the Facebook page was called Adrenochrome, and it's a movie though. And so I clicked it and saved it because I want to watch that, just to,
see what it says, right?
Don't want to know. I mean, don't want to know for my personal use, but I'm curious about it,
Yeah.
I saw today, speaking of news, I saw today where they're going to use Tom Hanks for some kind of antibody now. And I was like, no, thank you.
Whoa. Yeah.
His blood for some kind of antibody. And,
no. Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
Also, another thing I'm happy to report, I saw, there's been a lot of these farmers throwing all this food away and stuff and dumping this milk. Man, that's just sickening especially with, like I said, with food shortages come up. I've
I
seen where
know.
there's I guess it was organized on Facebook and now on GoFundMe, where some guys got together, some truck drivers and some farmers. And so now these truck drivers are going and picking up that produce that these farmers are having to throw away and taking it to food banks and being able to at least recoup some of their losses.
That is fabulous, and we need to get more organization like that on local levels
Yep.
to start to do more of this. And I think we really got to get busy with planting and growing some food. And if these things hit, I mean, immediately people need to come together and start getting whatever they have. And it's like I was just thinking, it's like all these vacant buildings, that are just sitting there empty. They could be all used for indoor farming,
Yep.
indoor, because I think the weather's the reason we've lost so much of our food. It's the weather.
The sun, like I said, we're not getting that red light spectrum in the summer
Not
that
just
promotes
that,
the
the
flowering.
hail, the tornadoes, the freezing, I mean,
Hail.
yeah,
Uh,
and they're still getting snow, and then now you got the locust plagues going across to India and South Africa. It's like the food is in bad shape.
and I'm not griping because I'd rather have too much rain than none. But man, I mean it's pouring outside right now. It rains here all the time.
Right. And it's like the growing seasons are off, everything's just kind of off. So, to me, that's evidence that we're going through some kind of planetary stuff too, you
Yeah,
know. So it's like you
absolutely.
put all that together, and boy, it's a very exciting time to be alive.
Zazabon Om says it's past 3 a.m. here in the UK. Well, welcome. Good to see you
Hello.
here at 3 a.m.
Yes, welcome.
Let's see who we got here real quick. We got a few with us. I think most people I think the Leak Project's on, so I think most people are still over there. There's Miss Mary Wins. Mary, I sent you another message today. Please, please, please send me your t-shirt recommendation and what size so I can send you a t-shirt because you deserve one. And also somebody else is getting one. And I didn't want him to do it because I wanted to take care of it because he's single-handedly taken care of this for probably the last 5-6 months. But Robert V made another
That's
donation of
your name, Robert.
$50. And so, we got a good head start for next month too. So thank you
Right
once again,
on,
Robert.
Robert. You're awesome.
But
Thank you.
I want to send Robert a shirt as well. But I'm having Robert on Saturday night. So y'all will get to see and meet Robert on
Yay.
Saturday night. Yeah.
That'll
So
be
that'll be a
awesome.
good time.
That'll
So
be awesome.
let's see who else we got. Dominic Spioto, how you doing? Miss Tony Cherie. There's Crystal MacArthur. Soul Tribe, you got it. Miss Mandy Moo, good to see you. Bruce O'Mala, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I want to get Bruce on here sometime. He's a very interesting fella.
Mhm.
There's Mama. How you doing? And she says, thank you, Trina, for stepping up. Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome.
Pure Love Ascension, what's going on? Darth Samuel and the Guyan, how you doing? There's Miss Chloe Zigzagzilla. We got some creative names in here. I love it. Miss
I do too.
Delaney, what's going on? Deborah Trudeau. Like I said, man, I really want to. She said I could read some of her things on here, but man, Deborah sends me some incredible emails. And sometimes it's just like I haven't responded to a couple of them just because I'm kind of still in awe. I'm just, I
Right.
mean, it's one of those thinkers. So I want to get her on here. I think I'm going to have to tape it, but she's got a lot to share, So
That's
and
awesome.
anybody wants to come on, please email me. I've got some, good shows coming up. I did start scheduling again, so that's how we
Right on.
got Robert here. So,
Yay.
all right, who else we got? Mr. David Castle, what's going on? Gemini Ascension, I'm a Gemini right here.
Yes.
Dark Truth, how you doing, huh? Good to see you. Who else we got? Jill Jarrett, what's going on? I think we got 2 minutes. There's Zazaban on again. Up rolling the late night. I
Yep.
know how that is. Trust me. I did finally start sleeping. Woo. I hope I
That's
didn't
awesome.
just hide somebody. If I hid somebody, I'm sorry. Lost in space. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Miss Nancy Burks, howdy from Arkansas. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
First time viewer. Divine Empress. How you doing? There's Miss Judith Nolan.
Hi,
Gotta love
Judy.
Miss Judith.
Hi.
So anyway, the soul family is here.
Yes.
Still, I hope David's all right. Like I said,
I do too. I'm like, he's not even in chat. I wonder what's up.
Oh my God, I got to show you this that I picked up today. I'm munching on some blueberries and blackberries, and look at the size of those blackberries.
Oh, yum.
Freaking huge. And
I've
they are
really big fruit too, like strawberries and stuff, like ginormous ones.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah, that's
that's big.
It is. Yeah, it is.
And they are delicious. So
yeah, the strawberries were delicious too, but they were ginormous. I wonder how they're getting so big.
I got some strawberries too.
Oh, right on.
I didn't get bananas. That's the first thing my mom asked. Did you get bananas? And they were just like green. I mean, I had to actually look at the sign. I thought they were plantains.
Wow.
So, but I did. I love fruit. I love fruit. That's my sweet of choice. Dark chocolate, but
yeah,
fresh fruit.
Oh gosh, me too. Dark chocolate and fresh fruit. Yeah. My favorites are pineapples and strawberries, and I like cantaloupe and oranges, especially cuties. Oh God, they're so good.
I need to get a cantaloupe because, man, I've got this huge groundhog, and man, he is burrowing everywhere, and I got to catch him. Sorry, I know most people don't like it, but I got to catch him because he is tearing it up out here. And this thing, I mean, I call him Little Bastard. That's his nickname, but he's huge.
Yep. So, he's eating well.
Oh my goodness. And he just came out of hibernation. I expect him to be a little bit smaller, but good God, I think he grew. Of course, he's been burying or digging out all kinds of tunnels under the barn, and that's what's causing problems. So he's probably had plenty of them. I don't know what they eat, but I'm sure he's had plenty to eat.
Yeah.
There's old Steve slightly slanted. How you doing in Aurora Rain? What's going on?
Hi,
there's Mr. Robert V. Was your ears burning? We were just talking about you.
Yes, we were.
So tonight, folks, I mean, we're going to get into this universe and as above, so below, because I did a little meditating on it, but we had anticipated, Dave had posed a question, something about the Big Bang. What was it?
Is this reality a reflection from a part of the original Big Bang? I think it was something like that.
So do you have any thoughts on that? Because like I said, I don't really know how to decipher. I don't know.
I could totally see that would make so much sense to me, because a lot of people have seen like source as this big huge like sunlight thing, and it shoots off pieces of itself, and through that shooting off pieces of itself, it creates big bangs when the like different things collide. It just the light.
See, this is what we were talking about earlier, and Steve kind of hit on it, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. The universe was basically created with the thought, like, and I did some meditation on this, and the question is, which came first, the chicken or the egg? If God created everything, then who created God? And what I keep getting, and I've asked this before, and I asked it again, it just is. It just is. I mean, there is no ending or beginning. But as Steve said here, each one of us have a Big Bang. And like we were talking about before, I was telling Trina, each individual thought you can consider a Big Bang, because it causes a ripple to go out through the universe. And if the universe was created with a thought, each thought is a Big Bang.
Yep. That's precisely, absolutely. Yeah. Everything is based on thought, sound, wave, vibration. Yeah.
See, that's the problem, even as myself, but the more that, like meditation has helped tremendously. Like humans always overcomplicate things, and it's really just breaking it back down to simplicity.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Always. I swear. I've tried, because I'm the Y girl. Why? Keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it simple. It's like KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. You got to keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, because we overcomplicate things, and through our dissecting of things, that's where we fall into patterns of error, so the simpler it is, probably the truer it might be.
Yep,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the end of the show, folks. Have a good night. Just kidding.
I know, that's funny though. That's it. That's what we got. Yeah.
I mean, but that's, I mean, really, you could just end it there. I mean, it's just that simple. I mean, I pulled up something here about it comes back to the seven principles, hermeticism, and
Yeah. Yep.
as above, so below, as within, so without.
Yeah, and it's like I often think, and it's like those seven principles are basically like seven of your chakras in your body, because they're all associated to different attributes and different like personalities of it's like it's the as above so below concept is so amazing to me.
Well, it's the macrocosm. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why, let me pull this up real quick. That's why, I did the thumbnail today because, let me pull it up here.
Mhm.
The brain cell and the universe being,
They look
similar in
identical. Yeah,
design.
they look literally identical.
And it says here, have you ever wondered that maybe the universe which we live in could be just another brain cell to a larger living being? And that's not my belief. Like I said, I believe it's each individual thought in us, because we are here to experience this reality as a part of source.
Yeah.
So that's why our brain cells look just like the universe, because the universe is with them, because the universe is actually all a part of our collective thought.
Yes. It's the funniest thing. It's like that would totally make sense too, to the other way that I saw it was like that the universe is like literally that's the brain you're sitting in, and you're like on earth inside this universe. It's like that's the same thing. You're inside that brain. And it was like this big, huge, intelligent body, we're in it. We're literally one with it. That's how come we're a fractal of it, and all of the information of that is contained within you through that piece, that spark. And that's, I think, why we have imagination and creativity.
Well, like, that even boils down to people who are flat earthers and people who are globers and things like that. That's why, like I've said it before, in a flat earth person's reality, the earth probably is flat,
Hmm.
because that's what they're creating in their mind.
Yeah, and I see that so much of that too is coming from a holographic reality. You know what I mean? So within a holographic reality, the hologram has to have a flat plane to operate on. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So I can see so many different ways that that goes, and then I can also see the fact that all pretty much everything in the system is atom, and all the cellular molecules, everything is all spherical. So I'm pretty sure the Earth is a sphere, but I can
I'm
understand
starting to think
completely
more of the
not saying.
toroidal field. That's
Yeah,
why the
which is
hollow earth maybe makes sense.
well, yeah, and that's why I think there's a big hole.
That's what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
Steve says something here. Steve says we are in the brain of God. I'll go one step farther and say
yeah,
we are the brain of God.
yeah. We're in it. I
Yeah,
literally in it,
we
are
are
it,
it.
same thing. Yeah, same thing. If you're in it, you are it.
Yep.
It's just like you are in your body, you are your body. You're in it. You're in it and you are it. Yes.
I didn't really go over this article, but like I said, seven principles of the universe, which is basically the Hermetic principles.
Yeah, it's just again, it's the as above, so below, micro, macro. And
Ooh,
it's like right now, it's like game on. They're trying to get a hold of our souls somehow. They're trying to do this, I feel.
You know, yeah, I mean, it's not right now. They have been.
Yeah, but yeah, right now they're in overdrive.
Yeah, most definitely. But I swear, and it's not just. I mean, you can look around all over the world. It's because of, I think, so many people waking up to the reality. And like I said, I think this kind of backfired on, like, they were wanting to instill all this fear, but a lot of people took this time to actually do some research and, think for
Absolutely.
themselves for a while, because they kind of got out of that programming cycle.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, yeah, I think that was a huge moment for many to see things from a different perspective. Yep.
Listen to this right here. It says, "In the heavens above, the planet's energies are that which is so below on Earth. We humans who live on the so below are made of these same heavenly energies of that which is as above. Hence the
Yeah.
microcosm and oneself, and
Yep.
the macrocosm is the universe.
Yep.
We are the gods, like we were saying, we're God's brain. We're the gods of the atoms that make up ourselves, but we are also the atoms of the gods that make up the universe."
Yes.
That's
Bingo.
awesome. Yep.
That's so brilliantly spoken. Yes, that is brilliant. That's exactly what I was shown time and time again. We're all pieces of each other. That's brilliant. Brilliantly
Oh,
spoken.
I'm going to read the, holy cow, I'm going to address this. This is good. I wish I'd looked at this before. And sorry, folks, but hey, I'm reading it in real time.
Right on.
It says, "Our mortal souls belong to the Creator like the stars in the heavens. Humans are made of the heavens, who are found among the stars and the planets. The heavens as above is the macrocosm, and we, the humans, own the so below, the microcosm. The same chemical energies found in the as above stars, such as phosphorus, hydrogen, sodium, sulfur, magnesium, and iron, can be found in almost all living organisms, including humans, on the so below. Like a star that burns bright, we can also burn out and fall like Lucifer. As above, so below. A dying star that once belonged to the Creator becomes ash, just as with the fall of man. His immortal essence also becomes mortal ash. Then, as above, so below is also hidden secret biblical alchemical science of the allegorical stories behind the veiling of 666, the beast or revelation, Lucifer, and Jesus Christ. I have written about this hidden alchemy in the Bible many times before in articles such as The Science of 666, The Stars, and the Seven Golden Lampstands of DNA, and From Atom to Atom to Red Man. The number 666 relates to the carbon atom and man. Carbon is most abundant in the sun, stars, comets, and in the atmospheres of most planets. Carbon 12 is one of the 5 elements that make up the human DNA, being composed of 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons, which equates to 666. It is abundance is due to the triple alpha process by which it could be created in the stars. Oh, and it keeps going. You want me to keep reading?
I think this is fascinating. Yes.
Okay. John the Baptist said of the coming Antichrist and the number of the beast, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 66." John was telling us that we are the beast and the Antichrist.
Yep.
666 is simply the number of man, and this can be proven by modern science. Lucifer, the fallen angel, is the Latin word for the Greek word phosphorus, a name meaning light bringer. The phosphorus atom is in the nitrogen family, but having that characteristic of firing. Hence the term light bringer, for this is the very chemical energy that, next to calcium, phosphorus is the most abundant mineral in the body, used primarily for energy production, growth, and the repair of body cells and tissue.
Yep.
It is the very energy that you need to think, live, create, and yes, even have sex with to create babies to further evolve or devolve your family bloodline. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The very chemical energy known as the Greek phosphorus that makes us human, and like the Latin Lucifer, we too can fall and devolve, or we can simply rise above the matrix and become like Jesus. Yep. leaving the earthly world behind by dying on the cross on the so below, in order to rise to the heavens on the as above to become spiritual beings who are lights in this world, illuminated teachers and angels that guide those people who are less fortunate to do the same. These truths are the basis of the human science of chemical energies of the as above and so below, known as alchemy, and the science of an inner spiritual knowledge called gnosis, two ancient sciences that are some of the least understood by current humanity. The selfish ignorance of their past that often leads to their early mortality, in which the evolution of their soul is simply not occurring. Our goal with our lives is to evolve, not devolve like we are now, to rise above, not fall below, to love and be loved. Hence, those humans who do not know their past simply never last. Those who live a lie always die, and those who live by truth never die. Life is a journey in which we each take our own paths and find our own truths. To find truth and happiness, we all need to play our own tune in accordance with each of our own chosen paths, spiritual gifts, and worldly talents. Be still, withdraw from the world of illusions, and just be yourself. In a sense, be happy with what the Creator has given us, and also do not waste our lives by becoming fallen angels doomed to devolve in our own man-made hells for eternity. If we all play our own tune with these spiritual gifts that we have been given, we can then begin to repair our damaged selves and then be a light in the damaged dark world that we live in. Find that philosopher's stone that is within each one of us. In a sense, create heaven on earth, as above, so below, as within, so without.
Oh my God, that is brilliant.
Well, I find some jewels, don't
Oh, that is
I?
brilliant. That is like alchemy 101, what it is and why it's done. It's making the two one, as above, so below. That's so brilliant.
And once again, here we were talking before, and then I start reading something, and it kind of just breaks down what we were talking about.
Exactly. And it's so funny. I was just talking about that today on my video too. So
Oh,
crazy.
I saw where you put one out. I've watched the first three.
Oh, right on. And then, yeah, and then I was also getting information about how like the planetary bodies are also associated to like an angel
Mhm.
and associated to like a god, and then associated to an element, and then also associated to through the element of plutonic solid. So it was amazing when you're talking about the seven golden lampstands, and that's the seven pillars of our DNA. That's also there's seven plutonic solids. I
Hmm.
thought that was kind of interesting.
If anybody wants to go look at this article, it's at www.stillnessinthestorm.com. So I don't
Right
know if
on.
any of my moderators can copy and paste the link at the top.
Stillnessinthestorm.com. That's beautiful.
An agent of conscious evolution. Yeah, this is something I ran into about a week ago, and I just happened to, that's how I happened upon this article. I
And I
started going
love
through the
I love
archives.
how I love how they broke down Lucifer too, and how they broke down 666, because that's exactly what I was shown was 666 was the mark of the carbon body, the
Yep.
carbon-based molecule. So will you take the number of the beast? It's like, will you choose your body over your soul? It looks like we might be getting asked this question straight away.
Well, and I think that's why I'm so at ease. Like, if the world was to end tomorrow and I die, like, I'm good. I'm good with
It's
that.
all right. Right. It's okay because you know that you're going to go forward. Yeah,
Yeah. And
exactly.
I think that's a big part of it. Just being at
It
peace
is.
with it.
I think it's a huge part of it. I think it's absolutely a huge part of it. But I also do see, it's like they always the Bible talks about the great deception, the greatest deception. And it's
That's
like,
what we're living.
I know,
Just
it's
like how
like,
they've twisted everything around with Lucifer and the light bringer and 666 and the
yeah,
human.
and
And
it's so funny. It's like we are 666, and then Lucifer is phosphorus.
but it does make sense. I mean, sense because we are the sinners.
Yeah, it's so weird because when we talk about creation, and then um I was shown that it all comes from dragons. So from the dragons, it's like somehow dragons and angels, and then mankind, and then the separation of man, which is the male female species. It was like this whole breaking down process of creation. And through that process, it's like there's the whole process of, it's called devolution, and it's going down in the spiraling of evolution. It's not evolution, it's devolution. And then it was funny because that child was talking about the word the devolution, and I'd never heard that word.
I didn't know what you were saying. I didn't know that you were talking about devolving. That's
I
what that
didn't.
was
I really didn't either, because she was saying devolution, demolition, devolution, but the
yeah.
devolution. She mentioned devolution, like
And I mean, that's a proven fact. Our brains are scientifically, I mean, they've done studies, are actually shrinking because, and I know it's because of technology, phones, things like that, because we don't use our brains that much anymore.
that's like one of the specific exact words used for one of the agendas through vaccinations, immunizations, devolution.
Well, I mean,
I
I know we're devolving as a species, or we were devolving as a species. I think that, like I said, that's why, I want to promote this, the higher minds and the telepathy and things like that, getting people
Yeah. So I
using
think
those
we
parts of
gotta
the
trust
brain
our
that
bodies.
we
Yeah.
quit using.
Yeah, we gotta trust our bodies and start to activate what we really are, because we don't even really know. We really
That's what I'm
don't.
saying. I mean, literally, I mean, I ain't figured it out, of course, but
Me neither.
it's like you say, and this is where the fake it till you make it comes in,
Yes.
like you say.
Yes.
It's literally tricking your brain into, believing that anything is possible. And I
Yeah,
mean,
and then try.
and
Like
what?
with meditating. You started to try, it's bad,
No,
boom,
yeah.
floodgates been open,
And
Yeah.
it's the whole believing in it. And I know that's so hard, like because of all this constant programming. It's like, I still see where people are talking about in prayer and things like that, and
Mhm.
the Heavenly Father, but like you are connected, you are a part of that. You don't need to pray to a Heavenly Father. Just pray. Just
Yeah,
pray.
you go direct.
Yeah.
You go
Don't need a
direct.
middleman.
No middleman. And you're saying, okay, as part of you, as a child of you, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. But see, the laws are as they are. So when you're praying, oh, help me for this, or help me, you're actually sending more energy to that what you do not wish to receive.
You're
So
still accepting your weakness.
yeah, well, and we've always been taught to pray backwards, and I think that was probably done on purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
We've
the
always been taught to pray to something.
yes, and the true prayer is what you feel about, and what you feel and think about is what you will bring about. So when we need something to show up in our life, we've always been told to ask for, oh, please send this, or help me with this, or help me. It's like you have to find a way to see a solution within your own being, and see an outcome that serves you and the greater whole. And when you focus on the solution or an outcome that you wish to see, this is how you truly pray, because prayer is about creation. And yes, there is divine intervention, and I've seen prayer people come in and get help with prayer. I've seen that too. So I think it
Oh,
does work
absolutely.
both ways for
We have
sure.
helpers for sure.
Oh,
And
for
BTW said something about Jesus free. I'm not saying anything. Jesus was one of our greatest teachers,
oh
along
yeah,
with Buddha and
ancient.
many others.
Oh
I'm not
yeah,
saying anything back like that. I'm just saying don't give your power away. Jesus taught us that we were capable of the things that he did and greater. He was
yeah,
trying to tell us what we're capable of, that we have that connection to source. But it
yeah.
got muddled and it got controlled.
It got super muddled and super controlled, and like I said, there was no J until recently. So yeah, it's even all that's been twisted and turned around to to teach you to give your power away. Because the Lord always explained to me so clearly. He was like, the Jesus means he is us, means
Yeah.
I'm inside of you, you're inside of me. It's one. It's one. And that was the whole point, was like, and he was like, these things I shall do, ye shall do, and greater. That was because he showed us how. He gave us the blueprint. Like, he did that.
Yeah.
That's what that was. That was his
And
gift.
that's why they killed him.
For sure. Yeah, for
So,
sure. And like I said, there's been others before him that gave these gifts to humanity too. And that's how
oh, there was literally hundreds of Christ figures before Jesus.
yeah, and that's how we evolved as a species, was through those beings,
Oh,
and we feel each other. So through those beings walking on the earth at different times with different humans, this was part of how we evolved as a human. It was from these beings and these individuals who knew how to do things that most could not even comprehend.
you know, I remember back on one of the other channels, but I remember talking about, and that was before, you know, I knew I'd actually read about the other Christ figures and stuff like that. But I'd stated that I truly do believe, you know, there's all these different cycles that's happened here on Earth for millions of years, I believe. And I truly think that every time the cycle comes back around, I think there's a similar Jesus story, or I think it's a reoccurring thing. Because
I
like I said, I think it's like we're in a time loop, and we get so long, you either get it right or you don't. Then it starts over.
yeah. I think the reason that these beings are in every religion, and all this is consistent somewhat with the Messiah and these things, I think it's because we have a deep cellular knowing of this. There's
Yeah.
some part of us that remembers. So they're copying a truth from some level. And it's like what I've come to understand over all these years is like this Lord Jesus being that many have in their mind. The same thing with Muhammad. All of these religious um, beings that we have from this construct are programs of this construct, but they literally are coming from the macro
It's coming from the
macro
collective, from the
beings.
Akashic records, if most people want to
Yeah.
say.
And you know how it's like as above, so below, the mini me's and then the macro me's? It's the same kind of concept. So it's like you're worshiping a fractal of what really is. So in essence, it's almost like a false idol because it's not the fullness of the truth. Fullness of the truth is so big you kind of can't wrap your brain around it, because this Jesus entity being might be like the solar lord of the entire universe.
Listen, this is some great discussion going on in chat, and that's why I've got the best chat room on
Right
YouTube.
on. Yeah, and I wonder if this like is the solar being of the entire universe, because there's a lot of people, like even people who don't believe in this being, they will see him and they're like, "What is up?" You
Yeah,
know,
I think
they
I
have
didn't watch
their
Wayne's
belief
program today, but I
system.
caught a little bit. But it was something he was talking about Project Blue Beam and things like that. I mean, whether it comes or not, I think you're going to see it.
Oh yeah,
Let me read a couple of
they
quotes real
might
quick.
be. Yeah,
Huh?
I think that might be coming up pretty soon too.
Yeah.
There is some buzz that's a potential. You know, I had a dream many years ago. It this was before I knew anything about this kind of stuff. And I had a dream and I literally saw like laser beams show in the sky, and there was emojis and hearts and stuff flying around. And it was like
Well,
super
you know,
cool.
people's been showing some videos on YouTube where like it's just popping up. I mean, but it looks like it's you know, how those planes will leave smoke things, but you're seeing these things pop up in the sky, like, and it will read out something. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
I've
know
been
if that's
seeing
test
those.
trials or what, but you know, and plus, and I've seen some other crazy videos. I posted another one the other day of this thunderstorm, and you see this huge craft up in the sky, and all these little orbs just dropping out of it. Hold on, let me read these real quick.
Okay.
Sparkle says, I had this discussion the other night with someone or some so-called Christians. They pretty much attacked me for claiming to be God. Oh, well. you're going to get those attacks. And Nancy Burke says the Romans saw the truth that Jesus was showing the way, and they had to control that message.
Oh,
Bingo.
yeah. Bingo. Bingo. They're off with his head.
Yeah. It just cycles, and it happens to be we forget our past and are doomed to repeat, Robert. That's what I'm saying. I think, like I said, I think it's a repeating cycle. And I truly believe we can get it right this time. And like I said, I think you either get it right or you don't. And it starts
I think it's going to come down to this, whether you connect to technology or not, because I think that's like, it's like Christ was like, give up the flesh. He could walk on water, raise the dead. If he wanted to jump off of a stick, he could have.
Yep.
He was telling you, don't worry about this, worry about what's inside. That's the gold. Don't let the gold, and that's what's inside of you. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway.
No more theft.
Anybody got any questions? Deborah Trudeau says blue beam is being used all the time. It's the tech that makes daily deception possible. Well, it's like I know I've heard Wayne talk about before, seeing just planes disappear out of the sky and things like that. And I've seen that myself personally, and I've talked about it on the show. I was standing outside one day, crystal clear blue sky. I mean, not one cloud in the sky. And it started raining. And I was watching this plane. It quit raining by then, but I was watching this plane go across the sky. Like I said, no clouds. And all of a sudden, gone.
Wow.
It's gone. So that was 2 weird occurrences within 5 minutes.
Last night I was looking up in the sky out in my backyard, and I saw these bright orange balls, and they were pretty far up in the sky. I couldn't tell how big at all they were, but they were bright orange balls. And then one blinked and then like blinked out. Mm-hmm. And then the other one like got brighter, and then it blinked, and then it blinked.
That sounds like a UFO.
Oh yeah. And then I'm not kidding you. Within 30 seconds, there were fighter planes.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because a lot of them UFOs, for some reason, they kind of go out that way, and then they'll fade out.
Yeah, it was weird because I literally looked up and I saw blink, 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 blink. It was gone. And I was like, whoa, what did I just see there? And then all of a sudden I see the jets come, and it was just one, and it kind of circled where I saw it, and then the jet just went away, and then I didn't see nothing else. But I was like, wow, it was interesting. Last night I was just looking at the stars, and I was like, whoa, what's that?
And since we're talking about things in the sky, I've kind of caught some shit on Facebook, but I'm just going to come out, and I mean, you can criticize me if you want, if you believe in this. This is my 2 cents. This is my thoughts. But I am so sick of people posting these things of the Starlink satellites that are lined up saying they're UFOs. I'm so sick of that. And I'm also so sick of people showing these things from ISS, which is actually the cities below. It's not starships, folks, because you can go over and watch the map, and the cities line up on the map when you see the lights below. I've seen thunderstorms, thunder, lightning down there, everything. It didn't used to appear that way until they started the high-def cams. Trust me, I've been watching the ISS feed day and night for years. Wow. So I wish, I'm sure there are starships coming in, but what people are showing, that's not it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all they're lined
now,
up.
I've seen some other videos seeing starships.
I think right now, like like when you go to a drive-in movie, that's literally what I've been seeing for a while. They've been here for a while because they're watching. This is the greatest show in right now in the cosmos, apparently.
I actually saw it. An amateur astronomer got not really a video clip through his telescope, and it was supposedly of the meteors coming. One of the 2 comets that's coming in that's breaking up, and the way it's broke up, like I said, he's got it through a pretty good telescope. It literally does look like that this comet broke up, and it looks like 3 huge starship gliders coming at us.
Right. I saw that. I was like, wow, it does look like 3 spaceships now. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
And I mean, what a way, for it to come in. I mean, disguised as a comet. That's like that, you've heard many scientists talk about a Oumuamua. I mean, and there's reputable scientists that say that is some kind of man-made structure.
Wow.
from what it was, I guess the chemical makeup from the analysis they'd done. So, I mean, who knows? We have no idea. No idea. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, we've got a lot. It amazes me how many comets are coming through here now. Like, we're used to thinking Halley's Comet comes through every 78 years or whatever. And
That was a big,
it's like a common occurrence now. It's like, which one's this week?
that's what I mean. We're going through some kind of a new part of the solar system. I know it. It's like, this is definitely happening.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to say is like a lot of, you know, they show these older but man, I'm telling you, I've got that meteor alert on my phone, and literally like the meteors that are popping up in 2020, which is the ones they're just now discovering, it's like they're just counting, it's just counting up, scrolling. They're discovering all, I mean, hundreds, if not thousands. So buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
Delaney says, did you look at the stills of the vids you saw? Yeah, they were trippy, Delaney. That's what I'm saying. It literally looked like 3 starliners coming at us.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And yeah, Comet Atlas, that's the one that supposedly it broke up and looks like the starliners. Yeah. And that's I think the next one is what? Comet Boris? I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 coming at us right now. Yeah. And you know, that Comet Atlas was the blue, and that's why I said, you know, I knew a lot of people were going to say it was the blue Kachina, and that's why I was curious to see if the next comet coming through was going to be red, because the red Kachina is supposed to be that's it.
Destroyer.
You know,
Destroyer.
So that's the kiss your ass goodbye one. And see that, and that's what brought me up with that December of this year, you know, that's when that Phaethon, the Leonid, or I think the Leonid meteor shower, it comes through in December. The first day, that's caused by the meteor Phaethon, which is what I lost my last channel for, that video, and its nickname is the Destroyer. Wow. And that December, the date, I think it's the 3rd or the 7th, that's the halfway point of the Great American Eclipses from 2017 and 2024, which some people think is the tribulation period. So the halfway point would be the day of reckoning, which would be this December.
Wow. Right on.
So that's right, just a what if. Yeah.
It's so what if, but then you got to look at the script and it's like, they're running it pretty good.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of. And that's why, like, you know, a lot of people think that this whole thing going on right now that we're going through was maybe a test run. Could it be a test run for something big like that? You know, that we postulated that they're preparing for something big. That's hints for all the DUMBs, the underground military bases and all that.
Yeah, I see a lot of potential for that.
And like we were just talking about, it's meteors galore, comets galore. Oh my.
Weather is off the hook. We're seeing storms like we've never seen before. And it looks like we've been getting a lot of plasma action, you know.
Yep.
And that's kind of a scary scenario when you're talking plasma. So yeah, it's profound.
And our sun,
they're seeing some beautiful plasma in our atmosphere.
I know the Aurora Borealis up north has been on fire.
That's from plasma.
Yep.
They're the same. So yeah, when you see the aurora light up, that you know we've got a lot of plasma in our atmosphere.
One of these days I will see the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely on the bucket list.
Wouldn't that be wild if you could see them all the way from Tennessee?
I mean, there's been occurrences where that's happened. They were visible down in Louisiana.
Holy moly. Well, then you're probably going to see it because we're in crazy train times. I bet you.
If we see them that far, though, there's going to be internet outages, power outages, and all that, because that's a major solar flare hitting us.
You know, though, sometimes I wonder.
Dead center.
What has to happen? Because I just wonder if that's what has to happen. Just think about
it would be a blessing, because it would, all this technology and shit, bye-bye.
Yeah, well, and it would break a lot of our mental programming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all, you know, I was thinking about that earlier, like, it's so sad how our lives have been hijacked. You know, we're supposed to be here experiencing and loving and living life for
Yeah.
source.
Yeah.
And here we're enslaved in this grind and not doing our jobs at all.
Yeah, we're
We are
supposed to be
not
like
fulfilling
Jesus.
that's I think that's why the world is overcrowded, because we're not fulfilling our destiny.
I think so too, because like I said, literally Jesus showed the way. He showed you what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to care about material things. You're supposed to care about people. You're supposed to, heal and teach and educate people about freedom and sovereignty and loving one another as you love yourself. Because it was super simple, super simple.
Yep.
But it's like we've gotten so far away from all that's important through all of the outside stimulation. And that's exactly what it's boiling down to. It's, we're being so stimulated from the outside world that we've lost a connection to what's truly important, which is the heart and the connection to others with love.
That's why I always say, like, and and that's why I finally figured out that's why the small things have always mattered more to me. I mean, and it truly, that's what it should be about, the simplicity in life. Like I said, smelling a flower, and like I posted something today, watching bees go from flower to flower. And
Mhm. I was watching a hummingbird today. It was so awesome.
I mean, that's
I
the moments that we need to treasure and enjoy, and get out in nature and enjoy these things and enjoy one another's company. And see, that's another thing that this thing's brought on. It's trying to drive a wedge deeper. I mean, they've already tore away the family dynamic. I remember when families got together every Sunday, including mine, for Sunday dinner. You don't
Right,
do that. Families hardly even look at each other, or if they even eat together.
right. It's changed so much from since like it's just changed so much in our generation. I mean, even 20 years ago, it was so different because there was no cell phones.
that that destroyed you. Like I said, that I think that's one thing that's caused us to devolve more than anything. Like I said, I remember when, and I don't care if it was 75 people, I knew every one of their phone numbers, probably their addresses.
Yeah,
And I couldn't, I mean, I know my parents because they've had the same number for years, but other than that, I couldn't tell you anybody's phone number anymore. I barely know mine.
yeah. It was so amazing too because the whole thing about having the phone was just because so that way you'd have a way to meet up.
Well, and that's like now, you may think of something, and yeah, hey, you can just Google it, but where's the, fun in that? Yeah, I mean, used to, you'd have to go look it up, do a little research, which makes you truly remember. And when you Google something now, you don't even know if you're getting the truth.
Yeah, or you call somebody who you think knows, like an elder or smart people in your family, and you actually get to have a conversation with them. You know, we're doing things all like I said, it's cutting us off from one another. It's stopping all of
And that's because there's power in numbers. We keep saying that. And that's why I keep
yeah,
wanting people to get together and work with this telepathically, and which we're going to do, folks. Oh, and I finally figured out the way I'm going to set this up,
right
because I
on.
do have a lot of interest in it. I am going to keep it as a show like Higher Minds. But
Okay.
now when we do these exercises and things like that, that's going to be behind closed doors, because you're going to have to open up a little more. So I'm not going to air that publicly. So
Okay.
as far as the information load comes across, we're going to do that as a show. But when we do in workshops, and we have to start teaming up, getting together, that's going to be done privately as a group, but it just won't be on air because
Yeah.
it can get kind of personal.
Yeah, we'll be live, but we won't be broadcasting.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
perfect.
And you'll be able, if you want to tape it for your use later, that's fine. I have no problem with that. And it's, if people don't have that, capability, I'll tape it. And if people want me to send it to them each episode, I'll send it to them.
Right on.
Yeah. So
Right
that's
on.
the way we're going to do that. But we are going to
That
finish
sounds
the Higher
awesome.
Minds first, and which
Sounds,
I'd planned on doing again Sunday and Monday. Are you good?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So Higher Minds will be Sunday and Monday until we finish that out, because I want to get to this telepathy, folks, because I'm gonna surprise a lot of you. You're gonna surprise yourself. That's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I can't wait to see. Yay.
So anyway, you know, to be honest with you, I think it's turned out to be a kick-ass show.
Are we done already?
It's over.
We are. Oh my God. Yeah, it went really quick. Yeah. It was just easy. So much going on in the world. I mean, hello, we could talk for hours.
I mean, really, like I said, things, I've got 1,000 things going through my mind right now.
I know,
So,
that's what I mean. There is just really, there's a lot going on right now. And this is, I think this is the key. When we come together as a group and we focus on the things we want to see, that's going to be the best chance we have in the world to make changes that we want to see really manifest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And once again, thank you so much for stepping in. And I do want to say once again, I hope David's all right. Send him some love. But
Me
Trina,
too.
you're a rock star. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, anytime. But yeah, I hope everything's okay with David. Hopefully his internet's just out. Is there any storms or anything?
Well, like I said, it was, you know, actually, yes, there is storms down there. There was tornado watches and stuff. So his internet may be out and phone. So
I wonder, I bet you that's it.
like I said, it's not like David. I don't think he just.
So I'm like, I'm hoping that's it. Maybe you guys can go tomorrow. What's tomorrow?
Now, tomorrow night is Brian's night. And, you know, it's weird. Last week, the Widespread did that show that I'd went to. And this Friday, tomorrow night, the Grateful Dead and Nugs TV are showing the first Grateful Dead concert I ever went to at Buckeye Lake.
Wow.
So I'm going to watch it and relive some memories. And
how fun.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be dancing tomorrow. So if anybody wants to dance with me, holler. Hell, I'll be dancing.
Awesome. That is, that's kind of ironic that the universe is bringing you back to those points in time.
That's what I'm saying. 2 weeks in a row, you know, so one of the biggest Widespread shows I'd ever been to, in my first Grateful Dead concert.
So, and those were monumental things in your life.
Absolutely. That was literally, I keep saying, and I mean it, that was some of the best times of my life.
Wow. Another starting point to create it once again. Interesting.
So, if anybody wants to join in tomorrow night, either on Nugs TV on YouTube or Grateful Dead YouTube channel, they'll be showing it. You know what I'll be doing, and I'll be in the chat room too. So, you know, I got to throw in my "Be the Frequency You Want to Receive" and all that. I got to throw that out there wherever I'm at.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
I won't be here tomorrow, but don't forget, folks. Saturday night, Robert V. You do not want to miss that. And then Sunday and Monday, Higher Minds with Trina.
Right on, Higher Minds.
So, you got anything you want to say before we leave?
I just love you guys, and it's impromptu, but right on. It was fun. Yeah,
like I said, you're a rock star. I appreciate it, hon.
Yeah, I love being with you guys anytime, any way I can. So
thank you.
I love y'all.
And thank you so much, folks, out there for tuning in. I love you to pieces. You just don't even know how much y'all mean to me. And if you need anything, hit me up on email. I'm getting a little bit better at that since I don't have as many. So until then, be the frequency you want to receive, folks. I love you all. Have a good night.